Hi guys, in this video today we're going to learn about how to evaluate a piecewise function, okay? We learned how to graph the piecewise function, so you understand that it looks kind of like pieces put together on a graph. So now we're going to learn how to evaluate that. And when you evaluate that, you have to make sure that you consider what your x values are, okay? So I figured the best way to do these was by just going in and doing a few of them. So in this video, I'm actually going to work the odd number problems here. I'm going to work 1, 5, and 9, and I'm going to work 3, 7, and 11. And then it'll be your responsibility to do the even ones, okay? So if I were looking for f of 2 here, f of 2, then that means the 2, remember this is your x, okay, that's your x. So I'm going to go up here, and the first thing I'm going to do is find the function I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with the f function because notice they've defined f, g, and h for you. So you've got to pick the right function first. So pick your function. My function is f, okay? So I'm going to find f. Then I'm going to look at my x value. Well, this x value is 2. So I have to look at these symbols right here and determine which one of these two I'm going to use. So 2 is a number that is greater than 0. So that means I'm going to be using this one. X is greater than 0. Okay? So that means that f of x is equal to this value right here, 2, if x is greater than 0. My x is greater than 0, so my answer here is 2. Okay? If I go over here to 3, and I look at f of 0. Okay, I'll use a different color here. So remember, find your function first. I'm still using the f function, so that's this one. Then, this is your x. So x is 0 here. So since x is 0, I'm going to come over here. Now, you got to be careful. Both of these have a 0. But which one of these includes the 0? Notice this one just says greater than. But this one says greater than or equal to. Says less than or equal to, sorry. So since it includes the 0, I'm going to be using this one up here, this function. So f of x equals 3 if x is less than or equal to 0. So my answer here is 3. Okay, let's look at 5. G of 7. Okay, now this time my function has changed. This time I'm using the g function. So if I look up here, this one was f. This one is my g function. So I'm going to look for g now. Okay, now this 7, remember, represents your x. So I'm going to look at my values here. This time it's got a 3 there. So which one of these shows where 7 would be? Well, this one is x is less than or equal to 3. 7 is definitely not less than 3. 7 is greater than 3. So that means I'm using this one, okay? I'm using the bottom one. So I'm going to take this 7 and I'm going to plug it in for this x right here, okay? So that's going to be 2 times 7 minus 1, which is 14 minus 1, which is 13. So your answer for g of 7 is 13. Okay, let's go to number 7. G of negative 1. Okay, again, I'm looking at the g function, so that's going to be this one. So I'm on the g. This time, my x value is negative 1. So I come up here and I say, okay, x greater than 3. Well, negative 1 is not greater than 3. Okay, x is less than or equal to 3. Yes, that's where negative 1 is at. Negative 1 is less than or equal to 3. It's less than 3. So I'm plugging this negative 1 in for this x right here. So this is going to be negative 1 plus 5, which is 4. Okay, if you would like to pause the video and try 9 and 11 and just see how you do with it, and then come back and I'll work it. Okay, hopefully you have tried this one, 9 and 11, on your own. Let's see how you did. This time, we're using the h function. So this was f, this was g, now I'm going to h. So I'm using this function over here now. Okay, and it's -4. All right, so I'm going to look over here, x greater than -2. Well, -4 is not greater than -2. X less than or equal to -2. Yes, -4 is less than -2. So I'm going to be using this top function first this time. And I'm going to be filling in this -4 for this x right here. So that's going to be 1/2 times -4 minus 4. I filled in for this x in this equation. Okay, half of -4 is -2. And -2 minus 4 is -6. So I get -6 there. For number 11, again, I'm using the h function, so I'm going back to this one. This time I'm doing h of -1. Okay, so is -1 greater than -2? Yes, it is. So that means I'm using this bottom function this time. Or the bottom equation, I should say. This whole thing is a function. So I'm going to plug in this -1 in for this x right here. So that's going to be 3 minus 2 times -1. Okay, 3, -2 times -1 is going to be a +2. And then 3 plus 2 is 5. So we get 5 for that one. Okay, as always, if you have any questions, let me know.